welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Minamul Dry Brush Kit. I'd like to start out by saying that I have never tried dry brushing before, so this was not only a new experience with the company, but also with dry brushing in general. This is the box you get on Amazon. As far as I know, this company so far is only on Amazon with this one product, and they have a Facebook page, which I will link down below. This is what it looks like. Then you open it up. Can I show it to you without spilling? Okay. So it comes with one piece of paper. This shows how to use the konjac sponge or konjac sponge, however you pronounce that. There's various pronunciations. And then this is a chart to show you what direction to brush in, which I will get to a little later. So there's this small brush, which I use for my face, but I believe you can also use it in small areas like your feet or whatever, but I use it just for my face. This is the konjac sponge, which I did not use. I will get to why in a minute. This is the body brush. And to get to your back, you have this attachment, which slides in like so, and just like that, it's a back dry brush. And I saw some comments on Amazon about how this comes off, but as long as you put it in there firmly and really push it in, it won't go anywhere. I think it fell off once for me, and that was like one of my first times using it. But now I know how to put it in there tightly, so it's all good. There's also this. I assumed it was like a back, I guess like loofah thing, but I wasn't sure at first. This is a pretty simple kit. It's easy to navigate and figure out somewhat on your own. However, there's only one piece of paper. There's nothing on here that tells me what these things are, what you're supposed to do with them. Also, there's no information on why I should be dry brushing in the first place, because this company, as I said, does not have a website. They just have a Facebook page, which I haven't really been on, but I'm assuming they have things about why dry brushing is good, which is great. But I feel like the kit should have some sort of information, because there might be someone who finds them on Amazon and they don't find them elsewhere, so they're not seeing any video or posts they have about why you should be dry brushing. It forced me to do outside research, which led me not necessarily to other dry brush companies, but I had to go elsewhere, and I would just assume that Minamul would want to provide any necessary information, so people are relying on their company and not going elsewhere. I had to do a little more research on Google as well as on YouTube, watch some tutorials. Yes, that's a thing. There is a handy chart that shows you which direction to brush in. Basically, dry brushing is for exfoliating, yes, but the major thing it helps with is the drainage of toxins in your body. I don't know if that's really the appropriate way to say it. I'm not a medical professional, but simply put, that's what it's doing. You're basically moving your toxins in the direction they need to go, kind of like training your body to drain in the proper way, I guess is how you could put it. So there are certain directions. Now on here, it says always move in the direction of your heart, which a lot of people say that. In my research, I heard that yes, you do move in the direction of your heart. That is a drainage spot, but there are other spots. You have your heart. You also have your hips, so right here, and then your armpits right here. So on your legs when you're brushing, it's pretty simple. When you're brushing up, you're just trying to get it into this area. That's your drainage spot. On your legs, and then like brushing down on your stomach, and then if you brush up, it's going towards your heart or towards your armpits, if that makes sense. And then on your arms, you're going into your armpits. On your back, you go down into the hips, and then the top part goes up and comes into the armpits. Hopefully I'm explaining this in a way that's easy to understand. The next thing to talk about is the sensation that you will feel. Now, you do have to apply enough pressure, much like you would when you're exfoliating, but it shouldn't be painful. You have to find a nice, even pressure. I was surprised because a lot of people said the face brush was too harsh. I have really sensitive skin and I didn't really have any problems with it at all. As long as I didn't apply too much pressure, I was okay. I guess it's kind of subjective how your skin handles it. I've got very sensitive skin and I was fine and able to do this a couple times a week, several times a week. And you can do it daily. If you work out that day, do it after you work out, but before you shower. If you're not working out, try and do it before you shower. After you work out, you're already sweating and getting out toxins, so it's like you've already started the process. And then obviously after you're doing all that drainage, you want to wash. It's up to you how often you do it. It really depends on how you react and how much you think you can handle. It will take you a couple of tries to develop your own routine. You do figure out your own way of doing things, just like starting from the bottom to the top and like, where do I go from here? But once you develop your own routine, it's like second nature. Now let's talk about the results. The obvious one is exfoliation. It makes your skin really soft. Most of the results you're supposed to expect are internal, which is hard to tell. I could see a subtle difference right away. I don't want to say I looked thinner, but just looking at my skin afterwards, it's like I could see the skin was subtly tighter. It looked rejuvenated, glowing. And I think that also has to do with improved circulation. It made me feel really good, very calm and relaxed, especially before a bath or shower. Even though you can't see what's happening internally, I think that just me feeling good and seeing the subtle difference in my skin, I think that tells me that it is doing something internally and it is helping my skin. Unfortunately, there is a huge downside, something that I had to deal with. I expected my body to clean out because that's what this is all about. I already struggle with acne, which is why I didn't get to using the konjac sponge. I was really scared. And I know it's supposed to clear up acne, but like I said, I have sensitive skin and the smallest thing can make me break out. So I didn't really get to that, but at some point I would like to try it. I did have a reaction to the dry brushing on my legs, specifically the top of my thighs. It was awful. There were spots on my legs that were red and swollen, like there's just all these toxins like pushing against the skin. Extremely painful, and it took forever to get rid of. It was not fun to deal with, and I had to immediately stop dry brushing below the waist. I don't think it's really a fault in terms of the company or the dry brushes because that's what it's doing, cleaning out your body. Talking to my mom, who was a nurse, she said that like this particular area on the legs, there can be a lot of toxins, and that's probably why that's where I broke out. and I'm glad my body cleaned out, but it was a lot to handle and it was very painful and stressful. And I have scars to deal with now. So that is something to be very aware of. Overall, I think I would grade this company kind of in the middle because I think that this was a great introduction to dry brushing. But I think there's still some things to work out. There's not enough information in the kit, number one. Number two, this is the only thing they offer. And for me, there's things in here that I have yet to use months later, such as this back loofah, I guess, and the konjac sponge. And I wouldn't necessarily want to spend money again to get the whole thing. I believe it's every 6 months you're supposed to replace them. This part right here doesn't necessarily have to be replaced because it's not part of the brush. So I would only need these two parts. I think it would be great if they offered them separately so I wouldn't have to purchase the whole kit again, which, hypothetically speaking, would push me to go to another company to buy from because there are companies that offer the separate brushes. If you've tried dry brushing or the minimal kit before, I would love to hear your opinion in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that red button down below to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 200 subscribers before January 1st, 2018, so help me out. Let's make it happen. Don't forget to click the bell to turn on your notifications. I will see you in my next video. Bye!